Hello, everyone. My name is Qiqi. I'm very happy and honored here for ASEAN Talk, a platform for ASEAN and China that offers a space for the youth of ASEAN and China to voice their ideas and experiences. In the next few minutes, I'm honored to be one of the speakers for ASEAN Talk to share with you all my experiences of volunteering and entering youth empowering platforms and help you start your own learning journey outside school. First, let me introduce myself for a bit. I am currently a PhD student at Princeton University studying ecology and evolution biology. I'm also a local change maker at the Global Change Maker Network. I'm a co-founder of 女子主义 Chinese Women Community NGO and a leading volunteer of MyHGO China Water Information Network. This small figure on the screen is me 5 years ago in my college. I studied geography and computer science, so I work with computers a lot. I always wonder, could I apply these digital numbers to the real world? They just seem to me very, very far away from the reality. And now, 5 years later, I am still a student in a university. I believe some of you in the audience are students like me, while some of you have already left the university or school. No matter what you are doing now, I have a question for you all. Have you ever felt what you are studying or you study is very far away from the real world? And for those of you who have already left the school, do you miss the feeling of learning things in school? If your answer is yes and yes, you are not alone. A popular question among college students and young adults is, how could we still keep learning outside the school? And how could we apply what we learn at school to make real impacts in the world? Today, I want to share with you my experience of learning outside school by volunteering and by attending youth empowering programs. I learned outside school from volunteering at local NGO programs. Starting from there, I applied and participated in youth empowering programs like Global Change Maker. I also applied these things I learned from volunteering and youth empowering programs to the research I'm doing now. Looking back at these experiences, you might wonder, Qiqi must be someone who's really organized and who has a clear planning about her education and career. This is, however, not true. If there's one thing I think really helps the start of my journey, and if you feel it's very hard and difficult for yourself to start your first step, I want to share with you this message: learning by doing. I myself started the learning journey from doing volunteering work at a local environmental NGO. During my third year of college, I did an online search about all NGO projects in China who are looking for volunteers. I found a small project called MyH2O Water Information Network. They need help on making maps of drinking water quality in rural China. This is related to my college major, Geographical Information Science. I might not be an expert then, but I have the passion and I have a little knowledge, so I can learn and apply things I learned in my classrooms. Plus, environment and justice has always been my passion. So I want to use geospatial information to make people's voices heard in China especially people living in rural area, because I grew up in rural China and I always want to give back to my community. To learn things throughout your journey, it's important to have a growth mindset. Believe yourself in your potential. Be open-minded about learning when you're doing the work. Also, find a supportive community that encourage you to learn and to grow. Because of my volunteering experiences, I'm lucky to be able to participate in the Global Youth Empowering Program called Global Change Maker in 2018. Even though it's only 1 week workshop for me, I learned so much about social innovation, activism, design thinking methods, and systematic thinking methods. I acquired a much deeper understanding about sustainable development goals in 2030. More importantly, I get to find a global change maker community who I've been learning so much from. A more life-changing message from this experience is that I get to know there are people out there who want to help and support young people like me to learn and to grow. I hope from today's talk, you can know this possibility and believe in the people out there want to help and support your growth too. If you want to participate in the Global Change Maker program, you can check out their free online toolkits, courses, webinars, and mentoring programs. These are very accessible and easily acquired opportunities to help you learn from everywhere of the world. Attending youth empowering programs changed my mindset about how powerful a young person like me can be, and what difference a young person like us can make. As the Sustainable Development Agenda 2030 says, youth are the critical agents of change. You might find this very hard to believe. You might think yourself is too tiny to make a real change in the world. But with a community of young change makers and young people like us, if each one of us can make a difference, together we can make a change. After knowing my story, you might wonder how you could start your own learning journey too. Well, I summarized 4 steps based on my experience. These steps are: first, reflecting on yourself. Second, looking for your community. Third, reaching out to people for support. And finally, giving back what you learned to the community. In the next part, I will walk you through these steps. Hopefully, they will help you start your own journey. First, reflect on yourself. This step is to find things you want to work on and also a good fit for you. So it's time to brainstorm your passion, what topics you're interested in, and it's equally important to find something that requires skills you might have or not too difficult for you to learn. After some brainstorming, you might find it easier to find a good match of your passion and skill sets. This step sounds easy, but it could be very hard. Remember, we change all the time, so our passion could change too. To start learning, however, you don't need to find a perfect answer for the rest of your life. You only need to find a starting point. And after you start, you will find more interesting things on the way. And if it's too difficult for yourself to think about things and reflect on yourself, it's always okay to seek for help from other people. For me, I talk to my career development consultants, my mentors, and my friends. They could be very helpful. The second step is looking for community. A community is a group of people you can grow together and you can learn from. The goal of the group should align with yours. After reflecting and deciding the intersection of your passion and skill sets, you need to do your research. The research could be Googling, and it can also be reaching out to people for suggestions. This is related to the third step, reaching out to people for support. When you're doing research to look for community, other people can let you know more possibilities you have never heard about before. Sometimes some people might give you feedback about yourself that could complement your own reflections on yourself. It's also important to look for mentors and help on more specific things like writing, application, recommendations, etc. The last step is to give back to your community. If you start your learning journey by doing things that are meaningful for your community, congratulations, it could make a real impact. The community, however, doesn't need to be at very large scale. It can be your family, your local school, institution, organization, company you're working at, or the local town or city you're living in. Sometimes it can be the whole country. Remember, each one of us can make a difference. Together, we make a change. I'm very honored and pleased to have this opportunity to share with you all about my experience and learning journey outside school. And I hope my experience and this short guide can encourage you to start your own learning journey. Learning is lifelong, so it's never too late to start. Best luck to you all. And if you have any questions, you can find me on Twitter and LinkedIn. Thank you for listening.